What's up, guys? Back for another Honkai style video. In this one, we're going to talk about should you summon for Fu Xuan. So Fu Xuan is going to be the character that reruns with Boot Hill. Pretty stacked banner, not gonna lie. Fu Xuan is a 5-star quantum preservation unit, and she is a very important piece to the Mono Quantum team. Now, if you don't know what Mono Quantum is, Mono Quantum pretty much is in the title a full team of quantum characters. This team normally consists of Silverwolf, Sparkle, Fu Xuan, and either Zele or QQ. I know people used to run links on it really early back in the day, but Fu Xuan definitely is a better option for that. So if you like Mono Quantum or like those characters, she's definitely a pickup for that. But overall, should you get Fu Xuan if you just don't care about Mono Quantum at all? We're here to talk about that. So let's get into her kit really quickly, and then I'll give my thoughts on Fu Xuan, because I actually own Fu Xuan, and then I'll get into the should you actually summon for her. So first things first, she has a 50% max HP single target attack, so scales off her HP, which is kind of cool. Then her skill activates Matrix of Prescience, via which other team members will distribute 65% of the damage they receive before this damage is mitigated by any shields to Fu Xuan for 3 turns. While affected by the Matrix, all team members gain the Knowledge effect, which increases their respective max HP by 6% of Fu Xuan's max HP and increases the crit rate by 12%. If Fu Xuan is knocked down, the Matrix will be dispelled. Now, this is very strong. However, if you have weaker characters, Fu Xuan will get absolutely blown back and maybe one shot. So you got to be very careful with that when using her with lower level characters or not as built characters as you would normally have. Then her ultimate deals quantum damage equal to 100% of her max HP to all enemies and obtains 1 trigger count for the HP restore effect granted by Fu Xuan's talent. Then her talent, when Fu Xuan is still active in battle, Misfortune Avoidance is applied to the entire team. With Misfortune Avoidance, all allies take 18% less damage. When Fu Xuan's current HP falls to 50% of her max HP or less, HP restore will trigger for Fu Xuan, restoring her HP by 90% of the amount of HP she is currently missing. The effect cannot be triggered if she receives a killing blow. This effect has 1 trigger count by default and can hold up to 2 trigger counts. So pretty much every time you ult, you get 1. So as long as you are always ulting before the HP heals you, you'll be good to go. And if you get ult without her needing to heal at all, then you will be able to have 2 just in case you don't get ult in that time and it triggers twice. Then her technique. After the technique is used, all team members receive a barrier lasting for 20 seconds. The barrier can block all enemy attacks, and the team will not enter battle when attacked. Attacking battle, while the barrier is active, will have Fu Xuan automatically activate her Matrix at the start of the turn, lasting for 2 turns. Or start of the battle, sorry, lasting for 2 turns. Very strong, by the way. This will save you a skill point, and if Fu Xuan is slower, you will still get the extra crit rate, which is nice. Then her bonus traces. If a target enemy applies crowd control debuffs to allies while the Matrix of Prescience is active, all allies will resist all crowd control debuffs applied by the enemy target during the current action. This effect can only be triggered once. When Matrix of Prescience is activated again, the number of times the effect can be triggered will reset. Pretty much every time you use her skill, you get 1 get out of jail free card for a debuff. Then, when Fu Xuan's ultimate is used, heals all other allies by an amount equal to 5% of her max HP plus 133. This isn't the most insane heal, but is a little bit something, so that is nice. And then her last one is when Matrix Prescience is active, Fu Xuan will generate 20 extra energy when using her skill. Pretty much, this means that you want to use it when it has 1 turn left if you aren't close to your ultimate or you need your ultimate, which is pretty nice tech, not gonna lie. Then her stat bonuses are crit rate by 18.7%, 18% HP, and 10% effect res. Honestly, that crit rate is kind of useless, unfortunately. And then let's get into her dupes really quickly. The knowledge effect increases crit damage by 30% on E1. E2, if any team member is struck by killing blow while the Matrix is active, then all allies who were struck by killing blow during this action will not be knocked down, and 70% of their max HP is immediately restored. This can trigger 1 per battle, which is really nice because everyone dies with Fu Xuan to an AoE, they all get revived, which is pretty broken. Then E4, when other allies under the Matrix are attacked, Fu Xuan drains 5 energy. And then at E6, once the Matrix is activated, it will keep a tally of the total HP lost by all team members in the current battle. Fu Xuan's ultimate damage will increase by 200% of this tally of HP lost. The tally is also capped at 120 of Fu Xuan's max HP, and tally value will reset and reclaim after Fu Xuan's ultimate is used. pretty much just makes it do a little bit more damage. Honestly, E1 is kind of where you'd want to stop if you were going for dupes, as the crit damage is very, very nice. That lets her have a crit damage 30% and crit rate by 16? No, 12, sorry. By 12 to all allies, so she becomes kind of a little bit of a support unit. Also, do note that Fu Xuan does not need her light cone. Let me go to light cones really quickly. I'll open up good old Pride light cones. I should have this open before, but you know, you will be slacking sometimes, not gonna lie. Pride would like to load. But Fu Xuan is still a very strong character. If you don't have Adventuring, I almost say it might be a must summon. Her light cone, let me move it over. Increase the wearer's max HP by 24% and energy regeneration rate by 12% when the wearer's HP is decreased. Increases the damage of all allies by 9% for 2 turns. At the beginning of each wave, restores HP equal to 80% of HP already lost by the character themselves for the team. This pretty much gives her even more support, more HP, more energy regen, and gives allies damage. So it's pretty damn strong. However, I use Jeopard's Light Cone and get by just fine if you're just using her for a preservation role. Now, the one thing about Fu Xuan is, like I said before, the AoE damage. If you get hit hard enough, Fu Xuan will straight up die from it, right? I've used her in Swarm before, and the big ultimate from the bug has absolutely destroyed her because the 3 members of your team are giving her damage and she's taking damage herself. It doesn't happen too terribly often, but she can get into that scenario sometimes, so you have to keep that in mind. Otherwise, she's an excellent support unit, or not, sorry, support. Well, technically it's a support unit, right? She's an excellent sustain. I think that Adventuring is only slightly better than her in certain scenarios. In certain scenarios, I say Fu Xuan's better. In certain scenarios, I say Adventuring is better. I do think that shields are a better gimmick than what Fu Xuan has, but honestly, they're both still extremely valuable. Now, if you have Adventuring and are okay with whatever other sustain you have, let it be like Woho, Luocha, you know, Lynx, Jeopard, whatever it is, right? If you're okay with that, I'd say you're good with skipping. However, if you don't have Adventuring and your sustains are like maybe 1 5-star healer and like a 4-star healer, I would recommend getting Fu Xuan. She's absolutely, I wouldn't say a must summon if you don't have good sustains, but she's pretty damn close to it. I think her and Adventuring, if you're running 4-star sustains, are pretty much the most valuable thing that you can get for your account, especially if you're a new player. If you're a new player, Fu Xuan and Adventuring, well, unfortunately, he already passed and he probably won't rerun for a minute, but Fu Xuan is probably one of the top 3 characters I would recommend for beginners. So do keep that in mind if you are in need of a sustain or are using a bit weaker of a sustain. It'll make content a lot easier. Other than that, that'll be it for the video. Let me know if you are summoning for Fu Xuan in the comments, if you're summoning for Boot Hill, if you're saving for Sam Firefly or Jade or one of their reruns. Their reruns are probably going to be like Argenti, Huo, Ron May ratio, one of those 4. So do keep that in mind. But anyways, that'll be it for the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.